Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing absolute liberal insanity that's hell-bent on ruining the West. That's the intro slogan that I'm using for this video because it's simply perfect. But let's focus less on the West as a whole and get a little bit more specific here. We're talking about New York City in particular. If you were to take New York, the Big Apple, some people view it as the center of the universe. You know, it's a fantastic place. It's part of world history. It's the nucleus of world commerce. Well, let me ask you a question. Such a great historic city, one of the most significant places on Earth. If I was to ask you how you could ruin New York City in less than a decade, what would be your strategy? What would you answer? Well, I know my answer. Simply insert wokeism and watch the whole structure fall. Well, folks, that's exactly what's happening in New York City. How to take a once great place and drive it into the ground 101. That's what we're talking about today. Let's start off with a viral NYPD video, then have a conversation, of course, as we usually do. But before we get into any of it, this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor, so let's play that clip. This video is brought to you guys by our great friends at American Hartford Gold. Folks, we're living through the age of fiat currency, but pretty soon we're going to completely transition away from paper money into a full digital dollar world, the central bank digital currency. In other words, the Fed is going to have total administrative control on every dollar in the economy and everybody's bank account. As we inevitably march into that system, there's only one way to protect yourself, or at least hedge a little, and that's by owning precious metals, gold and silver. That's where American Hartford Gold comes in, the highest rated gold company in the US, with thousands upon thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. With one phone call, they could deliver physical gold and silver straight to your doorstep or directly into your IRA or 401k. And best of all, on top of how easy it is, American Hartford Gold is currently running a promotion where you could get up to $5,000 of free silver on qualifying orders. One phone call or text message away. All you gotta do is call 844-440-1005 or text Hivemind, one word, to 65532. That's Hivemind, one word, to 65532. A huge thank you to American Hartford Gold. Now back to the video. Alright folks, so let's get into the woke insanity currently happening in New York City. Let's first start off by laying the groundwork. New York is facing a couple crises. Firstly, a good chunk of their tax base has simply fled the city.
You know, I have to say I was struck by a number in your story. The top 1% of New Yorkers pay more than 40% of total taxes. So this must have an impact on schools and transportation.
Yeah, I mean, so much of the city revenue and so much of the city economy is based on this top 1%. I mean, you have basically 30,000 families in a city of 8 million people, 30,000 people who earn more than $1 million. You know, it's billions, $130 billion of income that these people are bringing into the city.
New York City expected to lose about $300 million in tax revenues. Company that helps businesses and the wealthy track their location for taxes say those losses could actually be much greater. Now,
and of course, on top of that, you have an illegal migrant crisis.
Now, a new warning 1,000 miles away in New York City, where officials tell us resources are overwhelmed. Across public hospitals in New York City over the last year, nearly 30,000 visits by migrants and 300 new babies born to migrant moms. And New York Mayor Eric Adams saying providing services for migrants will cost city taxpayers $12 billion.
And then, of course, the cherry on top, we're also seeing a huge spike in violent crime and serious crimes. Petty theft and other small crimes as well, sure, but serious violent crime is through the roof. Take a look at this chart right over here. Of course, it's down since the 90s and early 2000s, I mean significantly down, but look at that spike post-2020. Crime is skyrocketing across the board. Of course, now it's getting even worse as the illegal migrant crisis is now contributing to a second spike in crime. That's the current state of New York. Well, in the normal world, you'd expect the NYPD to be staffing up. You'd expect New York State and Manhattan to be increasing funding for police and increasing police presence, allowing cops to do their job. But no, of course not. We're not in an ideal world. We're in the woke clown world. Instead, what's New York City doing? What's the NYPD doing? They're unveiling their new NYPD Dance Squad. Yep, there's only one appropriate reaction here. A collective facepalm. All the problems that New York is currently facing, and really the problems extend to the Democrat Party. I mean, Democrats are experiencing significant problems at the ballot box. The 2022 midterm election wasn't exactly great for New York Democrats. Kathy Hochul almost lost to Republican challenger Lee Zeldin, mainly due to the issue of crime. Crime is rampant and horrible, and what do you get as a New Yorker? You turn on the TV and you get this big slap in the face. A bunch of quirky NYPD dancers. Stay distracted, folks. Just look at these NYPD female officers and office workers, shake their booties, and simply forget it all. And look, maybe it's not the end of the world for the NYPD to have a dance squad, but it'd be one thing if the NYPD was actually doing its job effectively, if those in charge were actually policing properly and creating a safe environment. It'd be one thing if that was the case, and then they unveiled their Happy All Smiles dance squad. That'd be one thing, but it's another when everything is going to hell in a handbasket. New Yorkers know this, they feel this, and this is what they're met with. No wonder people are leaving like never before. No wonder we're seeing a great exodus of cities like New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. It's all so absolutely idiotic. I mean, this is where the term clown world comes from, and I think it's a contributing factor. At this point, why would anybody want to become a police officer in New York City? You'd have to be out of your damn mind to sign up for this job. Not only is it a complete farce, a laughingstock for the world to see, thanks to Democrat decriminalization policies, thanks to the migrant crisis, thanks to pretty much all of it, thanks to Alvin Bragg and Eric Adams, we're now seeing an absolute skyrocketing in NYPD officer assaults. The situation has become so chaotic, so unruly, so unlawful, that we've now seen essentially a doubling in on-duty assaults and injuries. NYPD officers are being brutally beaten by street criminals on a near constant basis, in some cases being attacked by roaming gangs of illegal migrants. But don't worry, folks. The NYPD's got a dance team. No, the NYPD has a serious recruitment issue, and it's no surprise why. Far left-wing politicians are running the city, frankly, they're running the state into the ground. You don't feel safe on the subway anymore. You're frantically looking behind your back, looking over your shoulder, worried who's around, paranoid there might be some drugged lunatic that Alvin Bragg keeps letting out on the streets, simply roaming the subway platform looking to push someone onto the tracks. Well, don't worry, folks. Why worry about the subway system feeling safe when you can simply get lost in the NYPD's dance moves? You're worried about criminals not being prosecuted. Don't worry, no worries at all. New York is focused on prosecuting the former president of the United States on bogus nonsense charges. Another thing that's likely to have negative shockwave effects on the city's ability to remain healthy and grow.
This award, I mean, just leaving the whole Trump thing out of it and seeing what occurred here, and I'm no different than any other investor. I'm shocked at this. I can't even understand or fathom the decision at all. There's no rationale for it. And so let me give you a real-time experience I'm having regarding this, and I'm not the only one. It doesn't matter what the governor says. New York was already a loser state.
So, Kevin, what did you think of Governor Hochul saying this is like a unique one and done because Donald Trump went too far and was so nefarious? You guys, if you're just doing what you should be doing, you have nothing to worry about. But they're very worried about it.
Yeah, we're very worried. Every investor's worried because where is the victim? Who lost money? This is some arbitrary decision a judge made. This policy and what this says, what does this say about the bar, the legal bar in New York? Aren't they going to question this judge? What is this? $355 million and there's dollars as a penalty, and there's plus interest at 9%, and there's no victim? I mean, I'm sorry, her words fall on deaf ears to everybody. There's nothing she can say to justify this decision. And this has nothing to do with Trump. Nothing to do with Trump. Forget about Trump. This is not a Trump situation. This is a New York problem now. The whole world is looking at this saying, what are you doing to yourselves?
So New York's essentially saying, we don't want investors. We don't want business people, real estate developers. We don't care for law-abiding citizens or families who want to live in a safe environment. No, we'd rather spend taxpayer resources on dance squads as we continue to cater to the needs of criminals. That is the reality of clown world New York City, and that one dance video is a metaphor for what's happening on a meta level in idiotic Democrat cities. Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.